Okay, I'm not able to figure out where it is.
I think if you click on participants, admit all option will be there.
Yeah, which I'm doing every time, every few minutes once. Admit all.
Okay.
Is there a, like I'm Googling, it says Zoom under settings, there is a security and a toggle of waiting room option.
Okay, I have more. I don't see settings here. Maybe I'll go directly to the. Okay, here.
Oh, you need to go to the web app, I believe.
I see. Let me see if it is here somewhere. Okay, I think I better go to web app then. Okay, I'm here.
After that, go to, it says settings.
I think he has to go to that particular meeting and then change the settings, advanced settings.
All participants share access. Share. Okay, recording clips. Maybe I'll search waiting. No, I don't see waiting here.
I think if you open the meeting which you schedule from there.
You mean here itself? Okay, let me open the web app. Yes, this is the one.
And is there any settings, advanced setting?
No. Okay, room management.
There is a setting on the left side.
Where do you see?
Scroll up a bit more.
I sent one option, sir.
Yeah.
I
Right
sent
next to next to this scheduler, the settings.
Yeah.
Below, one below.
We went through this already.
I sent something. You want to allow everyone to participate?
Yes.
I sent in the chat. Can you see that?
Start host participants on the bottom toolbar. Click more. Okay, I'm clicking more.
I give other option, 2 options. There are many options. I'm sending second option also.
Admit all is what I'm doing, but it's keep on asking. Once I admit everyone who's already
first option, did you see? First option, uncheck enable waiting room.
I don't see that. I see pause, stop recording, breakout rooms, polls, quiz.
That enable waiting room will allow before the meeting starts actually.
No, uncheck the enable waiting room.
It is not there.
That's not that option. Yeah.
Host.
Can you go to the meeting here, Karthik? The settings, go to the meeting.
Okay.
Meeting tab.
Web app.
Participant.
No, you're already there. Go to meeting tab. Okay. And
in meeting basic. Meeting.
Here. Enable.
Yeah, that disables it.
Yeah, exactly. Now we should be good.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Okay, let's see if anyone else still waiting. Okay. Okay, it's still asking me. Maybe it'll work for new meetings.
Yeah, click on the participant. That's what I'm saying. Click on the Zoom participant below. 74 it shows, right? Below. in the meeting, the current meeting, you have
Yes.
participants 74, right? Click on that.
Where do you see? I see in the top actually 75 participants here.
I see in the, maybe for me, I'm seeing the bottom. Maybe click on that participant. As per the chart I'm given, right? Click participant on the bottom toolbar.
I don't have that in the as a host.
No, you should. I don't. Are you? Don't see
Not
in the
in the web,
browser. Not in the web browser.
probably in the
In the your Zoom app. I'm talking.
Yeah. I don't see it. I see the participant sidebar. All the participants it's showing, and I see more. In that, I see ask all to unmute, mute all upon entry. Okay, let me see.
So
Host.
this is the browser. Can you minimize the browser? We got confused.
we are not able to see the Zoom, so
Yeah,
We can.
that's
Okay. Yeah.
problem.
Just see. Click the participant at bottom toolbar. Click more at the bottom toolbar, participant panel, and check enable waiting room. That's what they are seeing.
I don't see it. That's
Yeah.
the problem. I don't see it in
Yeah.
my.
We are able to see, but we are not a host.
Yeah.
Our
Oh, I
host.
see it now. Okay. I removed it. This should fix it.
Yeah.
It was hiding in another submenu. Okay, it's 10:10. We have 77 people. Let's get started. Thanks, Maddie, and others who are helping me to figure this out. Thanks for joining, everyone. It's Saturday morning, 10 a.m. in Arizona. I'm sure in East Coast it's noon, and California 9 a.m. So you could be anywhere. Particularly, this is festival weekend, but you just still chose to be here. Maybe you are scared about AI taking's job, or you are excited about the opportunities AI is presenting. Either way, thanks for joining. I commend you for being here instead of doing something else. Okay. So just housekeeping rules. Because we have different diverse background of participants. I went through the Google Forms. We have architects, AI architect, and ML engineers, product managers, project managers, and system engineer, DevOps engineer, and completely new students. So I want to keep it very generic and simple for everyone to understand. And I'll keep the questions later. Like I'll check the chat window. If you have any questions, don't keep it in your mind. Please type it so that you can focus on the session instead of, oh, I got to ask this question. I have to go. Just chat, put it in chat window, and I'll periodically check. And if there is any question that I can quickly answer, I will answer. If not, I don't want to interrupt the flow for others. If it is a longer answer, I'll keep it at the end. Any questions so far? Why I'm not able to see the chat window? Okay.
Hi, Karthik. Are you going to share the recording later on?
Yes.
Okay. And the slides as well?
Yes. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to focus on GenAI, Agentic AI basics. Again, I'm not a data scientist or applied scientist. I did manage data scientist, applied scientist at Amazon and work with them a lot. But if you're expecting the session or my course focusing on data scientist and how all the math behind it, definitely you're at the wrong place. Sorry. But if you want to basically apply the GenAI, Agentic AI, and I don't know math, then you are at the right place. In fact, even 2 days ago, we got some group chat and someone was saying that I'm going to learn math so that I can understand GenAI, Agentic AI better. And one of my friend who works in Meta was saying that the whole ML models, algorithms will be commoditized. So you don't have to learn any of this to apply and use GenAI and Agentic AI. So yeah, any question on this? Okay. Just a little bit about me. I'm Karthik Venkatesan. I've been in IT industry for last 20 years, started as a Java developer, and I've been managing multiple teams in the past before Amazon. Even in Amazon, I managed teams. And also I ran large programs. And recently last year, I trained hundreds of engineers, probably 900 to be precise, and then 200 plus data scientists in our org, how to use vibe coding to accelerate your web development, and then generative AI, agentic AI. Conducted multiple workshops across Amazon offices, be it Phoenix, Seattle, not Detroit, Dallas, Austin, and so on. Also, I've been an applied agentic AI instructor with another well-known company, and due to ethical reasons, I don't want to mention the company, but I've been doing this role before as well. And also, it's not just since I was in management role, oh, I know only theory. No, I built this website. I don't know if you guys can see my bottom of this slide, riziup.com. Can people see? Yeah. So I built this whole website. It's in production for at least last 2 weeks using vibe coding and AI tools only. Obviously, I had to do some configuration, which I again used Code Assistant. And it coaches men how to flirt using AI chatbot. And I'm working on releasing the voice bot where men can basically converse with AI audio bot, which will basically coach them based on guided lessons. And also I'm going to show a demo of it at the end. And also I have built, again, then you can ask, what about agentic AI? Yes, I built a legal contract review prototype. I would say almost like proof of concept, because prototype is like just show you how it is going to work. But I have handled some complex cases as well. Proof of concept, probably less than a week, actually. I'm going to show the demo of that as well. Again, I haven't done any coding for probably 15 plus years. I probably joined a couple of Python courses and learned the basics, but other than that, I don't know coding. And that's the point. You don't have to know coding. I'm going to show a magic quadrant where how the skills are, skill sets that you need to survive and thrive in IT industry is changing. Programming experience is no longer needed, actually. Okay, so let's unpack some key definitions. So we have artificial intelligence. This is the overarching umbrella. Artificial intelligence, I think it's the term coined in 1940s. Probably Alan Turing, I think, is considered father of AI. Artificial intelligence is mimicking systems mimicking human behavior, basically how we think, how we plan, how we take decisions. If a system can do, that is artificial intelligence. And we are not there yet. We're supposed to be, we are not there. And then we have ML, machine learning, subset of artificial intelligence. ML is focusing on basically learning the patterns from the past data and then predicting some values. For example, you are entering your house address in Zillow, and it will give you the approximate sale price. How it calculates? It knows as soon as you enter the address, it knows how many number of rooms, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, do you have pool or not, what is the total square feet of the lot, what is the zip code you live, what are the prices of the houses similar to your house in that particular zip code. All these things, it's already trained using this ML model, like linear regression is one basic ML model. And then based on that, it'll basically predict the house price of your house. And then you have a deep learning model. So this is like foundation for GenAI LLMs. So deep learning models are a bunch of layered neural networks. And again, I'm going to try to make it simplify. I'm going to oversimplify some of the things. So if you're a data scientist or something, it may not make sense because I'm trying to cater to a general audience who are like me, who doesn't know data science. Okay, so layered neural networks, it's almost like how our brain thinks. It has billions of neurons, it makes connections. That's how basically we think and we act. So same concept is applied in deep learning algorithms, where it's a bunch of neural networks. They make connections, and then that's how they try to predict things or generate stuff, which is generative AI and LLM. Okay, so we just talked about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and then generative AI. It's an AI approach to create original output, something new. It could be a text or code or audio or video. And then we have large language model. It's focusing on generating only text. Then we have diffusion model, uh, image models for generating images. And then we have AI agents. They are autonomous systems, often powered by LLM, capable of perceiving, planning, and executing tasks. So I'll give two examples. One is very, very basic example, and then another one is probably something relevant to IT to reinforce what is an AI agent, how it is different from other things that we have seen before. Let's go back like 5 years, 10 years before we had LLM or any of these things. If we want to basically book a ticket from Phoenix to LA, what do? We mentally think, okay, I got to go to kayak.com, I got to go to costcotravel.com, or I got to go to googleflights.com. And then you will have some goals actually. I want to go there direct flight. I want to go in daytime. I don't want red eye flights, and I want to go cheapest way possible. Considering I have baggage, I don't have baggage, so luggage. So based on that, you have some primary criteria, goals and secondary goals, and then you go and manually you search for the flights, and then you basically add filters, and then if it matches, great, then you go and start booking that particular flight. If it doesn't match, then you're going to basically relax your conditions. Okay, I'm not able to find anything. Let me see if I get some good deal by relaxing daytime. I'm okay to now go for red eye flight. Like that you do, right? So here you are perceiving and planning and then executing the task. Same thing, AI agent can do with or without supervision. So AI agent can basically go through all these different sites, and then it can enter your destination and departure, and then add all these criteria. And then if it is not able to find, like if it is meeting some edge cases or exception, then it's going to basically look at the data, and then it's going to improve the query and change the filters, and then again it'll search. And if it meets the criteria, either again it can go ahead and book it, or it will basically ask your approval. Hey, I didn't find you what you asked for, but these are the next best available flights, and these are the disadvantage. And then if you wanted to book, then it will go and book for you. And then we have agentic AI. How it is different from AI agent? AI agent is single agent doing all of this, but most of the time in real life applications, you want multiple agents coordinate together to achieve the common goal. So you will have a separate booking agent, single responsibility principle. So you want to define clear goals for that particular agent. So you'll have a search agent, and then verification agent, and then booking agent, and then you have an orchestration which orchestrate all of these agents, get the output from one agent and feed it to another agent. And it may call some tools to get additional data and then feed it to another agent. Any questions so far? Let me look at the chat. Okay, which roles is this course suitable for? I will cover at the end. Yes, I'm covering all those things. Maybe short answer so that it gets out of your mind. I have a generic track for AI engineers and architects. Then I have product manager track and project manager track. Okay, so we talked about agentic AI and what is AI agent, how it is fundamentally different from a traditional workflow we've been using in the past, like AWS step functions. There are so many workflow systems are there. So the difference is those are rule-based systems. They have rigid predefined paths, and you have fixed rules and policies. It cannot handle any exceptions, like I was mentioning about. Like if it doesn't meet the criteria, then it doesn't know what to do. It just errors out. Whereas agentic AI and AI agents, they are goal driven until it tries to achieve the goal by keep on getting the feedback. If it doesn't achieve the goal, it will keep on look at the exception cases and then keep trying until it achieves the goal. If it exhausted all the options, then only it will come to you saying that I have exhausted all the options. These are the additional options. Which one you want to proceed, or you want me to give a new goal? Okay, so let's take a legal contract review. So traditionally, lawyers have to go through the contract given by a particular company, and then they have to go through each and every class, every paragraph, and then they have to check against internal policies whether they are compliant to internal policies. So that's when we said, okay, we're going to automate this, and then we came up with rule-based workflows. They're better than manual review, but still it has rigid rules, if-then rules. And if there are any deviations, it struggles. It struggles on ambiguous situation. Then we have AI agent we just talked about. It can do all these things a rule-based workflow do, and also it can basically handle any ambiguous situations also. And it can do much more. It can draft classes, it can suggest, it can provide impact. What is the impact? I'm going to show a demo. And agentic AI, basically, it will do the same thing with multiple agents. Okay, let me see. I see some questions. How are these AI agents and agentic AI implemented? Yeah, I'll cover that later. High level, yes, there are frameworks are there, LangChain, LangGraph, Llama Index, set of frameworks and tools, Langsmith. That's how you build the AI agent and agentic AI. And these are all like vendor neutral, cloud neutral. Then you have like Strands agents by AWS, and Google has Vertex AI. So Azure has semantic kernel. They have their cloud specific offerings as well. You can build the agents using them also, but then you are tying your framework to a particular vendor. So this how, like, I'm going to explain the concept. This is what I learned in Amazon while teaching so many people. Instead of keeping it theory, I want to keep it interactive so that it's more engaging, and it's reinforcing what you learned actually. So please provide your answer. There is no right or wrong answer. The more you engage, the more you focus. Which statement best describes artificial intelligence? Okay, looks like everyone is paying attention. I see. Cool. Yeah, C is the right answer. It's designed to mimic human reasoning and learning, decision making. Okay, let's go to the next question. What makes machine learning different from traditional programming? It uses neural networks, it requires GPU, it improves performance by learning from data rather than fixed rules. It always produces probabilistic outputs. Okay, I saw A and then I am seeing mostly C. Yeah, neural networks also part of it's machine learning, but it is basically subset of machine learning, comes under deep learning. So when you have two answers that are right, then you just basically see which one is more close to the particular topic that we are discussing here. If we are asking about deep learning, then probably neural networks is much better answer, even though that is A and C are right answer for both machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning, usually you don't use GPUs. Yes, you can accelerate, but usually you don't use GPUs. Usually deep learning, transformers, CNN networks, those are the things you use GPUs. But yeah. Okay. Any questions? Okay, no other question. Okay. Deep learning is best described as any model with more than one algorithm a subset of AI that focus on symbolic reasoning, a subset of ML that uses multi-layer neural networks. Yeah, I think everyone of you got it. Yeah, everyone says C. Perfect. Which of the following is not necessarily generative AI? A model that summarizes emails, a system that predicts credit card fraud, a model that writes Python code, a model that generates marketing images. Okay, I see a lot of B. Can someone type why B is the right answer, not the other ones? Why a system that predicts credit card fraud is? Okay, yeah, ML algorithm. Yeah, right answer. Yeah, classification, ML algorithm. Yeah. Large language models are primarily trained to execute business workflows, learn world knowledge explicitly, predict the next token in a sequence, replace rule-based systems. Yeah, some people say B and some people say C. I can see why some people think that way. Definitely A, execute business workflows is not right. That's agents. Agents can run the business workflows, not the LLM. LLMs are primarily trained to predict the next token in a sequence. Yes, it uses the knowledge. It uses internet knowledge, publicly available knowledge. That's why I think some of you said B. But it is primarily, it uses that knowledge to generate next token or output for you, answer for you. So when you say what is the when you ask what is the capital of France, it has the knowledge that Paris is the capital of France. That is the knowledge it already has, and then uses that to generate the output or next token. Capital of France is Paris. A system receives a goal: resolve customer refund requests end to end. It reads tickets, decides next steps, calls APIs, and closes the case automatically. What is this best classified as? LLM, generative AI, AI agent, deep learning model. Okay, most of you say C, some says B. Okay. Whoever says B, can you explain why you think B is the right answer? Generative AI is the right answer. Maybe I'll explain. Yeah. So AI agent is the right answer because LLM, they can generate text. They cannot do all these other things, calling tools, APIs, planning for steps. Yes, agent will basically all these things, whatever it does, planning, calling APIs, it gets all the data and then send it as a prompt to LLM, which generates the response. Again, the agent will examine the response, whether it is meeting the goal, and then it goes in a feedback loop. But generative AI, it alone cannot do this. Which statement best defines agentic AI? A single LLM responding to user prompts, deep learning model trained with reinforcement learning, a system orchestrate, agents, models, tools. Okay, if you say C, yeah, you're right. Okay, let's move on to next topic. Other foundational concepts: tokens, embeddings, weights, and chunking. So tokens are building blocks. So when you provide a prompt like what is the capital of France, what the LLM, ChatGPT, let's use ChatGPT as an example because everyone familiar with it. It will convert those into those sentence into tokens, manageable tokens. It will basically convert into what as one token, and probably space as one token, is as one token, space as another token. And each and every LLM can break into different ways. How it is breaking into tokens. It's internal to the LLM. We can do a quick demo actually. There is an OpenAI tokenizer. See, it's basically breaking into 6 tokens and 20 characters. But if you count all these characters, it may not be 20. The reason is it is counting the space as characters as well. And sometimes it may break a big word like unbelievable into multiple tokens. Un as one token, believe as another token, able as another token. Okay. And then embeddings. So once it converts into tokens, those tokens convert into vectors. Basically, it's a numerical numbers because that's what computers understand, right? They don't understand words. And why vectors? Because that's what ML models, machine learning algorithms, train to understand. It's very efficient for the ML models to process vectors than individual numbers. So vector embeddings all same meaning actually. So I'll give an example how similar words like synonyms are stored with numbers close to each other, and something that is completely irrelevant to each other words are stored far away with different set of numbers. And then weights. Weights is how it is understanding the your LLM understanding the context. Whether when you mention apple in your sentence, whether it is you're talking about a fruit or a stock, it uses assign these weights based on the surrounding context. If the apple is mentioned in a recipe context, then it knows you are talking about fruit, and if it is mentioned in a company context or stock context, then it knows you are talking about Apple stock. So the weights is what basically adjusting and gives the context to the your word. And then we have chunking. Just like how we humans cannot remember everything that's said to us, like if you're reading 10 page or 15 page, you may not remember everything, right? You may have, you remember the gist of what you read in that 20 pages. Same thing, same problem LLMs also has. So that's where chunking comes into picture. You are breaking big paragraphs into meaningful chunks. So it's easy for you to store and also processed by LLM when you want to send it as a prompt. And there are different ways you can chunk. You can chunk based on a fixed number of words, like chunk all the tokens, first 500 tokens as one chunk and store it in my vector database, and remain next 500 as so on. And then you can have overlapping or individual chunks to preserve the context. Or you can chunk based on paragraphs. First paragraph as one chunk and store it in vector database, and second paragraph and so on. Or chunk the whole document. It's each has pros and cons. Any question? Let's see quickly. Okay, I don't see any question. Okay, I just showed you the demo. Basically, it'll convert your sentence into tokens, and then happily could be convert to single token, whereas unbelievable, as I mentioned, un could be one token, believe could be another token, able could be another token, comma could be one token, and so on. And then I'm giving an example of vector embeddings. So this is how it knows actually. Like king is a type of man, but man is a not type of woman. So store these two tokens or words as vectors together nearby, like it will assign 0.001 for king, 0.002 for queen. Whereas dog and animal, it'll have they are not related to man or king or woman or queen. So it'll have a different set of vector number representation for dog and animal, 0.003252, something like that. That's how it's almost like it uses, like you ask a question, it gives a response. You ask the same question one more time, it gives a different response, but it preserves the meaning. The meaning will be same, context will be same, but the words it chooses is different. The reason is because it's storing all these synonyms or words that are closer to each other in one area. And then it basically, based on multiple factors, parameters, top K, top P, or temperature, based on that, it chooses the highest probabilistic word and then generate the text. Why vectors word? I already covered. Computers process numbers, not text, and then ML models understand vectors more efficiently than just numbers or text. And then it enables semantic, like understanding the context using mathematical operations. Chunking, limited context window, breaking down information, or you chunk the data into individual chunks or overlapping chunks, meaning I don't think I covered overlapping, how exactly it works. Like first 500 words, one chunk, and then second 500 words, one chunk. But if you want to overlap to preserve the context between these two chunks, then you say 10% of overlap. That means it'll basically, the second chunk will start from 450 first token instead of 500 first token. That's how it preserves the context. And then dimensional embeddings. This we are getting really complex. This is what I'm going to cover in main course, but I want to give a preview of this, how single dimensional embedding works, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, and usually we store minimum 128 dimensional embeddings, 768, 3024. But I just want to give a preview of this. I don't know if I can zoom this to show you. Okay, zoom. Yeah, when it is 1-dimension, 2-dimension, it's easy to represent and comprehend. 3-dimension, but when you're talking about 768 dimensions, then it's a little bit easier to represent in 3D space. See here, you can see cat and vehicles are stored nearby, and then you have dog. Sorry, this is car and vehicle stored nearby, and cat, dog, animal stored nearby and far away from vehicle and car. And this is how it basically, the vectors are preserving the nuanced details about particular word. Actually, the word is whether sad or happy, all those nuances it uses to represent in multiple dimensions in the vector. Again, we are getting a little bit complicated. In the interest of different diverse audience, I'm going to limit to this. And it has pros and cons. If you choose smaller embeddings, you are using less space in storage, but then the accuracy may not be 100%. Whereas larger embeddings, you will take more space, and then accuracy will be higher. Okay, so how all these things tie together, right? How ChatGPT generates the next token. So your user inputs converts into tokens. Tokens are converted to embeddings, and then it assembles the context. Now it'll understand based on the surrounding words. It'll understand whether you're talking about apple stock or apple fruit, and then based on that, it'll assign the weights, and then it'll predict the probability. What is the next token I should generate? And based on all this information it learned so far, and it uses temperature. If it is close to 0, then it will be more creative, and it'll rest predictable words, random words. But the close to 1, it will be more predictable but less creative. And then once that token is selected, then it'll look for higher probabilities, and then repeat this whole exercise until it generates the complete output for you. Any question? Okay. Let's take an example. capital of France. So what is the capital of France? It will be converted into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tokens, and then it will assign the vector embeddings. And then it will understand the context that you are talking about a particular place and country, and you want to know the capital of that particular country. And then it uses neural networks, transformers to process this data. And then it'll give attention is all you need. Is the paper made all this possible. And now it focus on, okay, you are talking about capital and France, so give more weight to that, emphasis to that, and ignore all the other things and focus on generating the text related to capital and France. And then it generates the probabilities, and then it picks the best answer. And then it keep on repeating until it gives you the output. This is a reference Agentic AI architecture. I don't want to overwhelm you. So there are a lot of things are there. We are just scratching the surface. That's where the main course will focus on security, governance, monitoring, observability, memory, short-term memory, long-term memory, poisoning, prompt engineering, all those things I'll be covering, guardrails, all those things I'll be covering that not only be successful in clearing the interview, also excel in your career. Any question? Let's check. Okay, no question. Let me open the chat. Okay. Why do AI models use tokens instead of raw characters or full sentences? Tokens are always full of words. Tokens balance granularity and efficient language processing. Tokens reduce the needing for embeddings. Okay, I see a couple of them are B. Most of them are B. I see some C's. If you answered B, that is the right one. It balances granularity and efficiency for language processing. If you basically break them into character level, then it's too fine-grained, it's very inefficient. Full sentences are too coarse and inflexible. So it's balancing between both, actually. Someone said D, actually, yeah. Tokenization nothing to do with context window limits. That's a limitation of the your LLM. It's nothing to do with how it is breaking up the words, sentences into tokens. And someone said, see, you still need the embeddings. Tokens are actually converted to vector embeddings. They are input to the vector embedding conversion. What does it mean when two-word embeddings are close in vector space? The words share the same spelling. The words frequently appear next to each other. The words have similar meaning or usage context. The words are processed in same chunk. Okay, most of the answers are C. I see 1B. Okay, if you answered C, then you're right. It preserves the close semantic relationship. Did I get a ping or something? Let me check. Okay. Yeah. As I showed in the image, king and queen are close, so they will be stored in closer vectors in your vector database. Bank and river, they are definitely not closely stored. Okay, next one is, why are embeddings represented as vectors rather than single numbers? It's kind of repeating what I mentioned in a different way. Single numbers cannot be stored efficiently. Vectors allow multiple dimensions to capture the nuanced meaning. Okay, already people started answering. Everyone is saying B, you are right. It allows multiple dimensions. I mentioned, right? 768 dimensions. So it can understand all the nuances associated with the word. It can understand the topic, what is the sentiment, function, relationship to the other words. All those things you can easily, the ML models can learn if you represent the data in vectors. What is the primary purpose of chunking long documents? To improve grammatical accuracy, to reduce tokenization errors, to stay within the model's context window limits, to increase embedding dimensionality. Okay, I see mostly C, some B. If you say C, you are right. Why B is not incorrect? Tokenization has to happen regardless. That's the reason B is incorrect. It just LLMs have hard time remembering large documents. That's why you chunk it. What does the dimensionality of embedding represent? The number of tokens in the input text, the length of the numerical vector representing meaning, the number of layers in the neural network, the size of the model's context window. I see a lot of C's and some B's. If you actually, if you have mentioned as B, what is the reason you mentioned as B? Can someone type also C? If you are mentioned as B, you're right. If we are mentioned as C, that's not related to dimensional. Dimensionality is really the numerical vector, how many dimensions you are representing in the vector. Number of layers is nothing to do with dimensionality, right? Number of layers is processing. You are processing this vector embeddings, which has the multiple dimensions, but the layers is all about processing. You can have 10 layers or 20 layers, but your dimensionality of the vector will remain the same, 768 or 128, or whatever it is. Hope it is clear. Whoever said C or some other answer. I didn't really touch too much, but if you are able to answer, great. What is the primary trade-off when choosing higher dimensional embedding? Lower semantic accuracy, but faster computation. Better semantic expressiveness, but higher compute and storage cost. Smaller memory footprint with more noise. Faster retrieval with less pressure. B. You're right. B is right. Because you are storing, your higher dimension means you are able to get more nuances around that particular sentence or word, actually. So that means the accuracy will be high. But as a downside, you need a lot more compute and storage. You are building a startup feature that clusters customer support tickets into broad themes, billing, delivery, and so on. Cost matters more than nuance. What embedding strategy makes most sense? Very high dimensional embedding. Remember, cost is the keyword. Cost matters more than nuance. Lower dimensional embedding, medium, no embeddings. If you mention A, then cost is going to be high. Obviously, they don't care about nuance, so it is incorrect answer. So this is where the trade-offs comes into picture, right? In the real life application. Yeah, and nuance, they don't care. So you start always with C, lower level dimensional embeddings. And then if the cost objective is achieved, but then they are saying that nuance, we still need to have preserve some more nuance, some more accuracy, then you increase the dimensionality to medium level, 768 or something. You are indexing legal contracts where subtle wording differences change obligations and risk. Which approach is most appropriate? Sorry, I'm having low fever, so I'm sometimes blabbering, I guess. Yeah. Low dimensional embeddings to reduce noise, medium to high dimensional embeddings to preserve nuance, keyword burst, search only, randomly chunked text with any embedding size. Okay, if you said B, yeah, that's the right answer. Because you want to, when it comes to legal contracts, accuracy is matters. Otherwise, lawyers can get sued, companies can get sued. So you'd rather spend more money on storage and computation so that accuracy is preserved 97% or more. You need to store embeddings for hundreds of millions of product descriptions and perform fast similarity search. What matters most in your embedding choice? Maximum semantic richness, embedding dimensionality, and storage footprint, prompt engineering quality, tokenization strategy. Okay, many of you say B, some say, some people changing it to A, and okay, we got some D's as well. Correct answer is B, embedding dimensionality and storage footprint. So when we are talking about hundreds of millions of products, memory cost, vector index size, latency, processing cost, all those things matters because it's going to be expensive. Maximum semantic richness, it's not like legal document you got to worry about accuracy too much, and it's very expensive at scale. Prompt quality is not affecting the embedding storage. It affects your output, but it's not affecting your embedding storage. And tokenization is irrelevant because it happens way before embeddings happens. I think you get the gist of how my teaching style is, so I don't want to keep going so much on this. So now let me move to course details. Some of you waiting for. Okay, let me make sure no questions. Okay, why Agentic AI matters? Before I answer why you are here, right? If you want to basically type 1 or 2 lines, that would be great. Why do you think Agentic AI matters? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, right? Better job opportunities, career opportunities, or worried about getting replaced? Okay, yeah, get a job before AI. Yeah, I got the same. I got the same. Yeah, I see some thumbs up for that. Okay, so I was Agentic AI is picking up, and you guys know, like last 2 years was brutal for job market. A lot of people lost jobs. Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google. It's brutal, like hundreds of thousands. Rest of the market is doing really well, but IT market was really bad, which was not the case during the COVID time, where IT market was doing really well. Rest of the industry was really suffering. And uh, even working for Amazon for last 9 years, having the Amazon credentials, I wasn't getting single unsolicited LinkedIn message, hey, we have this job opening for you. But 2 years before, I used to get at least 1 or 2 messages. And that really tell me the picture of the job market. But things are changing. Like from November, the Agentic AI, yeah, a lot of traditional job postings are vanishing. And there is a LinkedIn Indeed article about it, how many traditional job postings were taken out from that portal, and how many new jobs are opening, and most of them have Agentic AI keyword in it. So I did the search when I sent this meeting invite. It was 70K plus. Let's try that now. See, now 78,000. In last 4 days, 8,000 new jobs or more new jobs added, which has the Agentic AI keyword. Crazy, right? And these are the data I gleaned from Indeed, like 270K, 430K kind of salaries are norm. And also, I personally got so many offers. Actually, as an experiment, just put Agentic AI related keywords in your LinkedIn profile and see how many hits you are getting in a week. I guarantee in next 2 weeks, you will get at least a couple of people reaching out to you. And the rates also, again, for hourly rates also crazy, because $110, $120 for enterprise architect or Java architect, solution architect, were normal like 7-8 years ago. They are now $70, $75 for Java architect, or even enterprise architect, $90, $95 max. And my cousin is owning a consulting company. He told me the same, actually. Whereas even for AI engineer, 110 to 140, 150 is very normal. Yes, some I have seen 70, and usually I don't think those jobs going to get filled, because there aren't enough agentic AI engineers available in the market. That's why the rate is high. And I think it's in Pennsylvania, Guardian Insurance. They called me, and I told them that, okay, how much you're offering, because I'm gathering the data for this course. And they asked me, like, just throw a number. I said 150. They said, okay, done. I was like, oh, maybe I should have asked for 200 or something and see what is the real rate actually. So it's crazy how it is picking up. And again, it's not just about making more money. It's about keeping your job and excelling your job and making sure you are relevant. You might have seen Salesforce was cutting jobs and deploying agentic AI, and Accenture also openly said, I think there is an article, you can look it up. They're going to lay off people who don't know AI actually. And even in Amazon, they changed pretty much all the job descriptions, including AI, even program manager. I'm not talking about technical program manager, just a program manager, non-technical program manager. Their job role has the AI keyword in it, meaning they have to use AI tools to increase the productivity. And Accenture also signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with some company, I think 2.3 or something. Once the project is over in 1.5 years, 2 engineers with AI agents can do the job of 10 engineers. So that means remaining 8 people are gone. So yes, it is a sad situation, but it is going to happen whether you like it or you are sad about it. It is going to happen. Do you want to be on the other side, or you want to be the one which is basically sadly replacing the other people, right? We are in capitalist country. It's brutal, right? Either you change or you get replaced. So what is replacing all this human labor, AI agents? What are you going to do after completing this course? Learning and experiencing how to build the AI agents, right? Yeah, even a lot of consulting firms, you guys, if you're working in like CTS and other consulting companies, you guys probably seen this or heard this, that they are replacing a lot of workforce with people who know AI. So yeah, if a task can be automated, it will be. So you can't do anything. You or me can't do anything about it. And roles are evolving. And when you adapt to new tools, those roles will shrink. So you have the choice. One takeaway I want you to have, if you don't remember anything else, is if you want to stay relevant, AI matters. So either you keep doing what you're doing, hope stays the same. I'm sure you are lying to yourself, or you jump in now. You're gonna be forced to learn AI anyway, right? Why not do it and make more money out of it now when you can? Then be a laggard, and after 1 year or 2 years. Again, I'm not saying that you have to take my course. If you can do on your own, please do. But the point is, learn AI. That is the one message I want you to take away. I'm very pragmatic and practical. If 4,000 people say, I want to take your course, I can't handle that, right? So the point is, yeah, be relevant. Yeah, you saw the glimpse of my teaching style. I'm not just theory. And the actual course will be even more interactive. So start with theory and then quiz. And then if there is a hands-on demo like OpenAI tokenizer I showed you, we will do the hands-on demo. And then I'm building my own exam certification platform where once the session is over, you get to go through those tests, and those tests will be like, again, very dynamic beginner to it start with beginner level question, and it'll go to more scenario based advanced level question to see your understanding. Then I will get the aggregate report, like which areas people are still struggling. So I will address those areas first in the next session before I move on to the next session topics. Yeah, this is just a screenshot of my platform. Again, is it industry recognizable? Not yet, but I'm working with a couple of professors to bring them on board so that it is recognizable in the industry. But it may not be recognizable now, but it most likely it may be in the future. But the main focus is you don't need to worry about it, because you will not only have the knowledge, you have the practical experience to crack the interview and excel in the job. So I got practical exercises and quizzes, checkpoints, and tackling real world challenges. What are the trade-offs you have to make? Because there is no one size fits all. So you have to make trade-offs based on the constraints given to you. And then you have a final exam and then capstone. I will be giving some capstone projects, which not only just something you practice, something you can actually use. For example, building a LinkedIn personal assistant where it can write articles just like you, and then it will post the article on behalf of you, so that you are basically building a capstone project that you can actually take it with you and use it every day to increase the visibility and marketability of your brand, which is you. And then obviously, I'll give you course completion certificate. On top of it, if you complete the final exam, I'll give you the exam certification as well. And then you will, if you are in an engineer architect track, you will get architect engineer certification. And if you are a product manager, project manager track, you'll get those specific certification as well. And this is the curriculum. Again, this is not very comprehensive. This is probably 80-90%. Probably, for example, prompt engineering, I didn't mention. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to cover. I'm going to make sure that you are successful, not only the interview and in your job as well. Foundations, application architecture, fine-tuning, LoRa, QLoRa, DLoRa, something recently introduced, small language model, how to build edge devices, and then context engineering, how to deploy open source Llama or any other open source LLMs and customizing it for your use case, how to use Hugging Face models, Agentic AI fundamentals, Python fundamentals. Some people were asking, oh, I don't know Python or any coding. I don't have experience. So can I do this? So that's why I want to give a demo of 2 applications I built. And even though I haven't done any coding for years and years, multi-agent system design, tool selection, and then governance, evaluation, observability, debugging, tracing, security, all these things I'm covering. So the course outcome: ability to design, build enterprise-ready agentic AI system, confidence to take an idea from whiteboard to prototype to production, and then practical experience you can discuss in interviews and on the job. Capstone proves you can do more than just prompt. And then I'm building a resume review agent. There are so many already available. We could use that, or you can use mine also. And I'll be having group sessions to review your resumes, provide feedback. And then I'm preparing, I'm also working on an interview prep agent, which is an audio chatbot. It will conduct mock interviews with you, and it will ask questions, and then you answer. Then it will rate you and say, give you pros and cons, how you can change it as a bar raising answer. Then it will ask you to repeat, and then it will rate you. And I already talked about comprehensive exam and tests. As project managers, I came up with this slide only yesterday, and product manager, because I didn't realize that product managers also going to join this call. So I created this. So if you're a project manager or product manager, your track will be a little bit different. There'll be a common track for all the a different specialization. And then for project manager, I used to run large programs in Amazon. So I know what are the tools you can use it to enhance your productivity as a project manager. All those things I'll cover actually. And then if you're a product manager, then how you can use Cloud or any other LLM-based tools, and to come up with a prototype, come up with the product vision strategy, and come up with user stories, etc. I think I covered exhaustively what you need to be a successful product manager or project manager in Agentic AI scope. If anything missed, I'm happy to incorporate them. Okay, as I was saying that you don't need this course if you're looking for some hacks or quick fixes and you are trying to avoid some technical depth. I'm not going too deep, as I mentioned that I myself don't know too much about how deep learning algorithms and math and formulas work, but you need to have some depth, like at least you need to talk about embeddings and intelligently with your peers, right? So if you're trying to avoid that, embeddings itself too much complex for me, then probably it's you don't need this at all. And you prefer pure theory and hesitant to build. Again, you absolutely don't need this course. If you have self-discipline, you can go through YouTube, Coursera, Udemy, Udacity, then and you can learn yourself. You want to be accountable to yourself. You don't want to be accountable to someone else. You prefer slow learning and go through so many courses. For example, I was complaining that one of the reason I even came up with this course is when I was trying to learn, I went through so much struggle. Oh, people are saying, just read this book, AI Engineering by Chip Hume. I read it. It was I could understand only 20% of it because it's heavy math. Even though when you talk to the machine learning scientists, they say, "Oh, this is the easiest one you can understand." No, as a machine learning engineer, you can understand. I don't, right? So I went through a lot of struggle, and then I was keep on complaining about it, and people keep on giving me different YouTube videos and stuff like transformers. How transform? This video definitely tells you, Karthik. I went to the video, it's 10 hours video. No, I am not going to be, I don't want to be a data engineer data scientist by accident by going through 10 hours of course. So if you want a structured learning, accelerated structured learning, focusing on agentic AI, GenAI, and enough depth to clear the interview and make the trade-offs and build real world systems and get your feet wet, yeah, then you are at the right place. Yeah, apart from capstone project, I have probably built 7 or 8 prototypes, and I can't do everything by myself. So if again, there is no guarantee if you do really well on this and you are mastering your expertise and command on this, then most likely I will give you the chance to work on the live project. And if it goes production, then I'm happy to give the equity in the project, in the company. It's a win-win for both of us. You are paying for your course and you are getting everything you need to clear the interview and successful in job. On top of it, you have the chance. Again, it's both, like I have to feel that you are capable of doing this, and you also want to, okay, in addition to having a job, I want to do this and get a passive income, then I'm happy to work with you and give equity in the company. Okay, again, I want to reemphasize, some people were like, okay, I don't know coding. So I want to talk about this again. core skills needed for 2030. This is share of employers expecting increasing skills in use by 2030. And this is share of employers considering as a core skill of 2025 in percentage. Look at programming where it is. It's in the out of skills, focus skills quadrant. So this is what the industry is shifting because of AI. Previously, 10 years experience, the Python programmer will be valued more and given more salary compared to 2 years. So the vibe coding tools are taking that away from you. So now you got, basically, if you know how to basically come up with a trade-off, system design, agentic AI design, if you have those skills, then those are more important than your programming skill experience. If you know programming, it's even better. But if you don't know, it's not going to be a deal breaker. And look at what are the core skills needed in 2030. AI and big data, curiosity, lifelong learning, creative thinking, resilience, flexibility and agility, analytical thinking, leadership and social influence, not programming. Okay. So focus on what's going to be matter more, in the future, what it is now. And I don't know if you guys heard, I think Claude, Anthropic already changed their interview. Instead of asking you to do some coding, they are giving you a problem. They're giving you 2 hours and you have to build a prototype and then come back to the interview. Okay, what is the course fee and commitment? So $3,000 course fee, it's 12 weeks program approximately. And if you refer a friend, you both save, and payment plans available upon request. And one thing I want to emphasize, there is a difference between investment and expense. So if you are going to movies, if you are going to dining, your streaming subscription, they're all expense. Investment, if you are spending money on education, skills training, professional certifications, stocks, long-term as an investment, all those are all investment. So you got to have a right mindset. I'm spending this much money, am I going to be committed to this program? Then I can make 10x, 20x. Then yeah, that's the way to think about it. So again, ROI examples, 30K to 80K increase. Again, this I got it from Indeed. I fed the data to ChatGPT and then it gave me the details. You have right time, you are in right time and place to pivot to high growth positions. Yeah, I can't guarantee about job. People were asking already, actually, can you guarantee job? No, I have some relationship with a lot of consultancies. I've been a speaker in a local IT serve chapter. I can definitely help you, but I cannot guarantee you. The only person guarantee is yourself. If you go through the course, you clear the exam, you do enough mock interview with the interview chatbot, then I don't see why you wouldn't be getting a job. And once, okay, I got the job, will you help me after I get the job? You will be self-sufficient if you go through this program and complete the exam and go through the mock interviews. You already got the interview, gone through the interview and cleared it. So you will be self-sufficient, but there may be some rare cases. I'm happy to help. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll show the demo. Oh, I see some questions. Okay. Is there any prerequisites for doing this course? Not really. If you want to go through some, what do you call, LLM basics or something, I'm going to send this slides anyway. You can go through that, but not really, actually. If you want, maybe you can probably try dabble with vibe coding if you haven't done, but not really. I'm going to cover those things. How does AI help in business intelligence area? So business intelligence, again, you are basically uncovering insights, right? It's all big data mostly, and uncovering insights. You have to build a lot of SQL queries, or what is the other term? I'm suddenly slipping my mind. Right, you will be running Spark jobs, all those things to uncover the data insights. So obviously that is gonna change with generative AI. You can instead basically ask in terms of prompt instead of writing all those things manually. And then next one, how a Java engineer can make transition to GenAI or Agentic AI. Also, we have a DSA is first step in almost all interviews for SDEs in companies. So yes, you can definitely transition, and that's where my course is designed for anyone, someone is who is new to this, to even someone knows something but don't know enough to uh, clear the interview or successful in job. So I'm covering different segment of people, beginners to intermediate. If you're really advanced, you don't need this. Also, we have a DSA. That's what I was saying. Actually, yes, DSA is still asked in Amazon, and there's so many companies, but things are started changing. And tier 2 companies, tier 3 companies, they don't have DSA. Yes, only FANG companies are having DSA, but I expect them to change this year. Like CVS or those kind of companies, I haven't seen DSA. Is this recording shared? Yes, I'll be sharing the recording. Just send me an email, then I'll share the recording. I'm from QA background. How much is this course relevant if I want to learn AI skills? It'll be way more than what you need to know as a QA engineer, but sorry to say, QA jobs, I don't know if you heard about it. QA jobs is one of the first ones in chopping block, so you have to upskill and reskill yourself. And why not just make more money, right? Um, why, if you can make X and you can make Y, why not X plus 30% or 40%? Why not spend 3 months of your time? You spend, we all spend, like I spent 6 years in college, right? Why not to make some money, right, as a fresher? So why not do that for 3 months and thank yourself? What are the hours of training for the 12 weeks program? So actually, I want to do a poll and see. I'm thinking right now, weekend batches, Saturday, Sunday morning, 10 to 10 a.m. MST, so that people on Saturday in California, people can uh, wake up a little bit late and join the course. And then if there is enough interest, I can do, this will be like 3 hour session, but obviously I'll give breaks between the session, and probably I'll even give lunch break for 30 minutes or something. Otherwise our brain will be fried if I continuously continue the whole session for 3 hours. And then weekday batch, it will be probably 1.5 hours, 3 days or 4 days in the evening time. So I'm going to actually, let me do a poll so that I don't forget about it. How do I do a poll? Okay, I'm launching the poll now. We have 32 people answered. Oh, sure, Will. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
While I wait for the poll, I'll answer the other questions. Okay, I answered QA background. If we don't have prior experience or skills in AWS cloud services, still okay to pick this? Understand? Yes, really good question. So my course is designed on cloud agnostic, vendor agnostic, so that you can deploy the solutions in any cloud. But most of the time, companies may ask for AWS or Google Cloud. It should be very easy to pick up whatever the extra 10%, 20% you need to know, actually. In fact, the capstone project you will be deploying in cloud based on your chosen cloud. It could be AWS or cloud, Google or Azure, but you will be doing that. I have experience in AWS, obviously, and GCP. My ReadyUp app I'm going to demo, that is part of GCP. So I have experience on both. Azure also, it's not too far off, actually. The clouds are really like shirts. I'm basically covering the body. The shirts are very easy to change. If we spend on this course, do you think we can reimburse from company? I don't think so. You can ask. For example, I was contacted by a VP of a local company. They are above my office. They want me to be their corporate trainer. But you can ask, actually. If I need supporting documents I have to provide, I'm happy to provide. But yeah, I can't answer that. I'm sure if you're actually, yeah, it depends on your company, because even AWS courses, certifications, some companies reimburse only 50%. And even in Amazon, as an Amazon employee, I got to get a special permission to clear AWS courses. And some managers say only 50%. So it depends on your company. I'm a DevOps engineer. As my next step, I'm planning to learn AI ops. Would this course help me achieve that? Yes, I'm going to cover definitely LLM ops and Agentic AI ops, because there are some nuances between LLM ops and Agentic AI ops. Yes, I'll be covering that. But if you want more details, probably we can talk, actually. You can send me an email. I can respond. Is this course limited to only to US or can be covered from India as well? Well, I'm covering in US timing. If people from India, they're really passionate, they want to change their career, yeah, unfortunately, they have to join odd hours. But if there are so many people are there, I might consider having a session a little bit India time friendly. How many cohorts or people have completed this course? So I used to be an instructor till last month for another well-known company. They even got millions of dollars thing. And there I teached 2 cohorts, 40 people in each batch, actually. Okay, thanks Gopi for joining. I'm in job search, transitioning from business intelligence to data engineering. I really think Agent AI will accelerate this study. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, majority people said weekend, and then we have some people weekday. I guess I got to do both batches. Any other questions? I will end this poll. Okay, the first demo, this is the one in production. So it's a dating coach app powered by AI. There is no humans involved. So a lot of people are very shy, introvert, particularly who are in IT. That is the reason I built this app. In fact, I did a project on entrepreneurship project on scams in dating apps. And that's when this whole idea born. The biggest scam of everything is the dating apps itself. They don't want you to, they know that 80% of the men don't get any dates, and still they don't do anything about it. And they want you to keep paying monthly subscription. In fact, I don't know, I saw some articles how far it is true. Some internal mail of some dating app companies are talking about how to break up people so that they come back to our app, actually, which is really crazy. But the point is, that's how this whole idea came into picture. There are dating coaches available. They charge you a lot, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 to get into the program. And then you got to pay every month 500 or something. Still, they get all the theory, what to talk, what to say, how to talk in a dating situation, but they don't get enough practical training. The only practical training is they have to go and talk to some girl, and most likely they will get rejected, and they take it personal, and then they don't they stop talking to people. So that is the gap bridge I'm addressing here in my app, where you can basically at your comfort of your phone, you can practice all this guided lessons. So people say, oh, how it is different from ChatGPT. So I have guided lessons. I basically downloaded open source Llama model, 7 billion parameter, and installed it. And then I basically went through so many dating coaches books and courses, and based on that, I know these are the lessons are important to improve your communication, social, dating skills. And everything I did, everything deploying, everything developing, everything I did, and then you can basically practice with it. So the other one I wanted to show is, we spent already a lot of time. So this is the multi-agent legal contract platform. So I have some sample SOW. Yeah, clean SOW. It processed and then analyzed. So since for demo purpose, I'm explaining what are the things it is doing. Autonomous planning agent, and then it is extracting the class, all the steps it is doing. And then what is the data flow? And then gives you the risk score based on the internal policies, which I hard coded. And then you can click the details. Risk assessments, how it is calculating. What is the actionable recommendation? All these things agents are doing behind the scenes for you. Compliance verification, document monitoring. And then what are the violations compared to internal policy documents you have? And what is the impact? That is very important, right? Liability cap not linked to SOW fees and minimum threshold. What is the internal policy reference? So there is no hallucination. You can double check. And what is the business impact if not resolved? Potential financial loss. This I developed in less than a week, and again, no coding or whatsoever. Gives you all the details. And then you can chat with it. How many SOW contracts in my database? How many active contracts? And then do enhanced search. And then it talks about all the agents. We have the supervisor agents, what are the things it does. And all the different agents. I got PDF processing agent, autonomous planning agent, supervisor agent, class extraction. Yeah, so I not only know what I not only know about it, I have done it. Any questions? If not, I'll be having, I know since it's festival weekend, some people were asking if we'll have one more session. So I'm going to have one more session on Wednesday evening. I'll send the details. And if you're interested in joining the course, please reach out to me. I'll work with you. And I'm planning to start my first batch next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. MST. Thanks, everyone. And if you need recording, please send me the message. I will share the recording. I'll stay for another 5 minutes in case if people wants to ask some questions. My email ID should be in my. Okay, let me type it here. It should be in the flyer and the email I sent. That's my email actually. If you got email from me about the Zoom link, that is my email. Yeah, once the session is over, I have to download the recording. Then I have to provide. Yeah, it'll be 2 sessions. If it is weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday, and then if it is weekday, it'll be 4 days because I have to cover the same time. Unless if people are saying that let's keep it for 3 days and increase the timing instead of 1.5 hours to 2 hours, then it'll be 3 days in a week. Yes, 3 hours on Saturday and 3 hours on Sunday, and I know it'll overload you, so I'll make sure that you get enough breaks. Timings for the weekdays, I'm planning for 6 p.m. MST, so that it's 5 p.m. for California, and it's not too late for people in East Coast. Again, if majority of the people who are joining the batch are in California or Phoenix, then I can do it at 7 o'clock or something. So I got a couple of projects in my mind, which is useful for yourself. One is I was talking about LinkedIn personal assistant, and then few more I got idea. I will provide my ideas, but if you want to do you bring your own ideas and build it, and probably even take it to production and start your own company, you can do so as well. Why not? Hit multiple birds at once. The point is, I want you to build something that is useful, not just for learning, something that you can actually use. But if you have other ideas, it's up to you, right? I'm giving choice. You choose what best for you. Yeah, the common ones I have seen is travel chatbot, travel audio bot, travel agent audio bot. You cannot use that in real life, right? So, yeah, absolutely, Balaji. Course fee, I mentioned I shared in my slide $3,000. But if you are bringing a friend, then I will give a discount for both of you or more. And then payment plans also available. Please reach out to me. Yeah. I still see a lot of you, 19 of you probably. You guys are doing something on the side, I'm assuming. Yeah, first batch is next weekend, not this weekend. 24th, definitely I'm starting. But 25th, I'm not sure because we have some local festival. I may adjust the timing. If it doesn't work, then we will do the following week. Yeah. Thanks, Uday. Okay. I'm going to end the session. I don't see any more questions. Bye, everyone. Have a nice weekend.